When shots are there, take them. The rest of the time, do your job within the defensive system and block out.
How have you seen him get better at doing exactly that in the playoffs, staying within the system but still doing the things that he does best?
He's a young player that's growing all the time. He's just, and there's things to be learned every time he steps on the floor. And, the things that happen that are things to learn from, he gets it very quickly.
How much, obviously the Knicks are a different team from the playoffs last year, but how much of that playoff series can you take
Some. Yeah, I don't know. What's your question?
What things? I know you don't want to be all strategy necessarily, but does it feel?
What'd you say about strategy?
I'm sure you don't want to obviously go your strategy.
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, but as far as does it feel like a very different team to prepare for? Or
they are a different team to prepare for. They have more weapons, and they've maintained their rebounding. When you add Bridges and you add Towns, those are two long-range, mid-range, at-the-rim threats. Both guys move great. They're both just exceptional players with what they can do from a diversity standpoint. And so, Anunoby's healthy. He was banged up last year. So, it's quite different from a personnel standpoint.
How does Towns just change the geometry? You mentioned him obviously for long range, but you got to guard him wherever he is.
You got to guard him at 35 feet. He makes those shots. He steps right into them, and and some of the stuff is just for a 7-foot guy, it's just a different world, different world you're living in, because he shoots it with ease, he drives the ball, really going either direction, and in the post, he's still one of the best in the game.
What does Mitchell Robinson, do for their team from a rebounding standpoint and also defending on the perimeter in space?
Well, his productivity as a rebounder is really quite remarkable. I think he's getting four offensive rebounds a game, and he's tipping the ball out another 3 or 4 times. So, in some games he's generating 7 or 8 extra possessions for them. So he's a major factor, and it's just another thing to prepare for. And then the other guy that people don't talk enough about is Achiuwa. Achiuwa gives them another big defender and another guy that can crash and generate possession. So it's going to be a constant physical battle in there, and we're going to need to be ready.
You mentioned Anunoby being healthy. Obviously, everybody knows how great of a defender he is. But how have you seen him progress as an offensive player? I think he has
He's been great in the playoffs. He can create his own offense, and he's also a high-level spot-up player, off of other action. And so, he's a great player. Everything he can do, he can play multiple positions. He can guard really any position on the floor with his strength. So, it's a different dimension that he brings to their team, and the versatility is one of the key characteristics of it.
Somebody who haven't seen you guys, been with you guys all year necessarily, but
welcome.
Record.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It has been,
yeah.
And especially since January, you guys record-wise, been probably December, playing a lot differently than you started the season those first 6 weeks or so. What flipped, and what do you think was maybe sustained into this playoff?
Well, we weren't healthy the first 2 months, and we had a very difficult schedule. So, January we had no back-to-backs. That helped. We became healthier. But I'm not going to get into a big diatribe about what happened in the past. Right now, none of that matters. I mean, we've just got to prepare ourselves to be ready for the environment, all the challenges that come with starting a playoff series on the road, and we've got to really work at doing the things that we do well as we can.